and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's live, we have a few topics of interest to discuss. First, obviously, we're going to talk about how Bitcoin's over 68,000. Looks like it's trying to finish off this rally back to all-time highs for the first time since 2021. And it's going to finish off a fantastic and unbelievably large cup. And if it puts in the proper handle, it could signify a push where we can only speculate. One could argue it could be 150,000. One could argue that maybe it just blows past it and hits like 70 and then go. Nobody knows. But with XRP, I can tell you for a fact, XRP hasn't been in this kind of a setup to where it could attempt a bullish push of the length it could since 2021. XRP is going to have a showdown here with not just 66.6 cents, as I'm sure a lot of you have been watching. If you're not new, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're new, I've been pushing the topic of XRP's going to 66.6 cents. It feels like forever now, ever since XRP made the double bottom in the descending triangle from the January of 2024 formation, and it hit it at 48.8 cents. And I was telling everybody, if you haven't got into XRP yet, it's the easiest 35 to 40%, or wouldn't it? I didn't say the easiest, but I said, wouldn't it be nice to be up 35 to 40% and then have a decision what you could do from there when it hits that rising channel resistance from 22 in June? Well, right now, if we blow past that, we only have one area of resistance before we can legitimately take aim at a 6-year consolidating formation after we hit all-time highs in January of 2018. The only things left is our bull flag that we broke out of in the short term from the last couple of days, and we need to come up to 67.7 cents to satisfy that technical move, and then we can use that as a support structure to validate the break and hold over the rising channel resistance. Then we can take aim at that 75 cents, and if we break over that, we can get into the extension zone. If you break that November 21 pattern at 82 cents, we could be off to our next mini rally here that could open up a bull market. So that's how close we are right now, but we've got to get out of this 6-year. It's about 77 months now. We've been in this consolidation, a bullish consolidation, but a consolidation nonetheless, from when we hit all-time highs at a $3.30 to $3.50, depending on exchange. And we went from $3.50 to 10.5 cents to $1.98 back to 28.6 cents. We've hit 94 cents and 33 cents and 35 cents or 30 on this uptrend. We've not hit that downtrending resistance a third time yet. Even when it came up to 94 cents, we never hit it. So even if this pattern's bearish, now it's at about 75 cents if you hit it sometime around June, up until June. So it gives us a little leeway here. So that's what we're looking at right now. So even if we're bearish, we've still got another 24, 25% to come up, even to give us that designation. So it would be quite ironic for us not to come up there. But, Bitcoin's up at 5,200 today. And when Bitcoin hits this cup and finishes it, we can only imagine if now XRP needs, because XRP commands more money. It needs more money to move because of the total circulating supply. So is that when it starts to finally do maybe not just 25%, but XRP I showed earlier in the live, and we can revisit it. But when we had the rally in 2021 from 65 or 63 to 65 cent range, when it finally broke out from that structure, it took 12 days. You heard that right. It took 12 days to get to $1.98 and end the run. So that's why I say with XRP especially, you've got to buy in the accumulation phase. And yeah, you can catch it on the way up. But once XRP's done with its run, it often does it in a quick burst. And then if the consolidation's successful, after a series of a few weeks or a month or two, then it'll continue a big burst. This time, unfortunately, after that dramatic run in 12 days, it was done. It was just done. And the lawsuit has a lot to do with it. But now we're in the ending stages, and there's nothing that's going to change with retail. Retail is always going to be ruled not a security now. And with the rest of it, even like I've told everybody, with the programmatable sales and institutional sales, they can try to call it a security. But remember what happened with the Bitcoin ETF? They showed us their hand. So don't be fooled. Don't listen to this. Don't watch the sleight of hand they're trying to fool you with. They've already ruled that Bitcoin ETF is being watched over, and it's being classified with the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, which makes it a commodity. The CFTC overwatches it, which means all extending things tied to Bitcoin, because they're relating Bitcoin, the biggest asset of crypto, is a commodity, not a security. Which means that's also giving them leverage to where Ethereum down the road, they could just say, well, Bitcoin's, it's run by the CFTC, so obviously Ethereum's not a security, because that's what the SEC decides to do with Ethereum, and obviously we know the story with Hinman and Gensler. So with XRP, if you look at the obvious, if the CFTC is actually running Bitcoin's ETF and is in charge of Bitcoin basically now at the oversight committee, that means the rest that's in the category is also a commodity. No different than how you have a B2 Gold, Fortuna Silver Mine, and anything related to mining companies, like a company that's mining, they're considered a commodity. It's no different. Now they've classified crypto in that condition as a commodity, which further supports the fact that they're trying to push the agenda that crypto is a store of value. So, but to me, precious metals is the only store of value. Crypto is another way to exponentially move your wealth, and it's a form of money, unlike currency. So, if we just understand what they're trying to do here in the optics, we know XRP is going to have to consolidate real quick. None of us here thought XRP was going from that 66.6 cents and just going right up. I would be surprised. We'll go over the levels, I think, and we'll get into this right now. But I could see it being busy in here, but I could also see some nervous energy as well. So we'll see what happens. So good evening, 6:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, March 4th. Wow, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if you are watching right now, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live. It really does help, and it'll help expand the community, and it'll allow not just new viewers, but some of the old viewers that might have been lost in the YouTube feed, not part of the algorithm anymore. By hitting that like button, you've allowed my content to be pushed by the YouTube recommendations, and now somebody that's not just new, maybe a newer, older viewer, will be able to find our community. So let's take a look at some of the comments here, and then we'll get into this. And thank you everybody who was here earlier as well. We had about 258 people in the chat, which has become more routine now, as I can't even believe, again, didn't even get through what I wanted to say in the beginning, and there's already 114 people watching. So thank you all so much for your dedication and commitment. We're going into the 7 o'clock hour here right now. David, welcome in. Joshua, welcome, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 5 months with the XRP Predictor. Kwame, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. If you look close enough, my friend, that is my face superimposed on there. I kid you not. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Yep. For anybody who doesn't know, back in the day, so Joshua was an OG of the OGs. I used to say, XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG, and that's how I used to say it, but it was so long that people couldn't even find my station, so I switched it just XRP Future Millionaire. But that's why I have the epitome for DGB so much as well. So thank you for bringing me from a blast of the past, Joshua. I love when some of the ones that are back from the very beginning are here. John, welcome in. Michael, John Page, Chance Williams, appreciate you tuning in. Chance has been scalping all day. Good times are here. Be careful with that, but you are obviously a seasoned veteran. Matt Holden, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 5 months with the XP Predictor. Rob Holcock and UK Phil, Ben B as well. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XP Meteor. Captain Crypto Morgan 65 kicking our butt. Nope. Just typical consolidation. Baby Bonk is rocking my portfolio today. Oh yeah, so Shiba's rocking their portfolio as well, as it's pushing 60%. Tanya May, well, it's pushing my portfolio, but I only had $100 in it, and it's up about 500, almost 600% now. Wish I had more. Wish I would have put more. That's why we could say, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. If I would have put my 3,500 from XRP, it'd be over 12 grand right now, instead of just at 6. Or no, it would be over, what am I talking about? It'd be over like 18 instead of over 7. So we can always say the what ifs in life, but we gotta wait. We gotta see what happens here. Tanya May, welcome in. Yes, indeed. Let's fucking go Bitcoin, she says, and welcome in, love. Yes, Bitcoin's tearing it up right now. Had a well over the close of 68,000. We've been talking. We'll get into this. We'll look at H-bar as well this evening. Jay, I'm welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army now 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Good to see you re-sign up, my friend. I appreciate that. Marvin, Rage, Sebastian, Jorge, and Bam, welcome in. I really appreciate that. And Bam, I'm glad you're able to catch a live. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Kryptonian, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the XOP media, or the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens with my face superimposed on that. Thank you, Amber, if you're watching out in the abyss. ETF again got rejected. News came out about 1 hour ago. Well, for the Ethereum ETF, you're not going to get that yet. I'm not surprised it got rejected. But that's going to put a lot more FUD in the air, so we'll see what happens. I'm actually appreciative of that news. Thank you for that, Tanya. G-Bird Crypto, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Yes, like Matt says, hit that like button, please. John, welcome in, Midnight in the UK. I appreciate that commitment. Big CJ, True Miranda, welcome in. I don't even know, I'm probably butchering it, but welcome in. Thank you so much. Oh, Johnson, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the Meteor. And yes, hi, Tom and Crew. He says, yes, welcome in, oh, Johnson. Thanks for the support, as always. Caleb Beats, man, that old intro brought back some memories. Haha, I know it does that. We didn't have very many people here at the time, but thank you for being in Tom's Army for over a year and sticking it out, my friend, with the I Told You So badge. And Randall Holdman, welcome in. Shout out XP Army from beautiful Naples, Florida. Welcome in from Naples, Florida. And True, welcome in, homie. Good to see you still sticking around here. Did you check out Flare staking on Bifrost? I did not yet. I did not, but that is on my list of to-dos. And I'm glad you reminded me, because that is something that's definitely I forgot to do. And honestly, now that you said it, it's something that I can't believe I didn't do yet. So I'm going to take a look at that, because that's very interesting. I only have it on Uphold right now because I get the monthly airdrops that they just give you for holding it. So I've been getting between 600 and 700 now, depending on, as it goes up. So right now with XRP, and if you're looking to buy XRP on this retracement, if you're trying to find a leverage trading position, look in the pinned comments. If you're in the USA and you have a hard time finding XRP, or you have a high time trading and high times of volatility because your exchanges always go down, like with Uphold and Kraken and Binance and fucking Coinbase again today, which pissed me off in the chat earlier. Not in a bad way, but it made me like, we got to do something about this, because somebody said that their funds again went to zero today. Took a couple hours to figure out. So take a look at BITUNIX. In the USA, they have the licensing since 21, also in Canada since late 23. They've had XRP, never let it off the exchange, even during the whole process of this lawsuit. And you don't need a VPN. So I'm starting to put more and more capital in there, so that in the high times of volatility, if I want to make a trade, God forbid you're in a leverage trade and your exchange goes down over and over again, take advantage of BITUNIX. They have a lot of pretty intriguing deposit bonuses, especially if you have, well, this isn't my category, but if you have like 500,000, 200,000, 300,000, you're getting like 3,000 to 5,000 for free. So the rich get richer. But take advantage of that during these dumps. Take advantage of XRP while you can still buy them on an exchange of somewhere. Because we never know what's going to happen in the future. So if I'm looking at this right now with XRP, what makes me the most intrigued right now, it's not necessarily what we've done, it's what we haven't done. And what we haven't done is had that volatile burst. We haven't had that volatile burst. And what I mean by that is XRP's formed, and we've talked about this in the live earlier. Let me go to the chart where we put this. We talked about this in the live earlier. That XRP's created. Where the heck is the chart? I've got so many charts I can't see straight. I know we put it on here. What did it do? Delete it? There's no way. We did a beautiful job together earlier. Well, oh yeah, this is the one we did from February. But now, so that's the February. So now if you look at this, this is actually set up beautifully for us right now again. So if we come up through here, because we're trying to figure out where would the opportune moment be, not just for the next breakout point, but God forbid if you're leverage trading in my audience. I always try to look out for you in the lives as well. But from a position of we're in spot, and there's no greater place to be than spot, right? Because you can watch these up and down ebb and flows, and like our position at 34.6, we don't care about like liquidation style events. We don't care about a 13% quick drop, and then it just eats it up and continues to go higher. These are things you don't have to worry about when you're safely in spot. I understand it's tempting in the leverage, but even if you're leverage, you better have your spot position figured out. That's all I'm going to say. If you have a good position, you have a lot of backing, you don't have to use the capital from there, and you want to gamble, some of us like to go to the casino anyway, so, you know, it is what it is. So, but don't go to the casino before you made your... This would be like going to the casino without making your house payment first, okay? Or going to the casino without paying your bills. You got to pay the bills first, and the bills right now, if you're a leverage trader, is to have your spot positions for the future. There's no... That's my personal advice. Wow, what is this? 25th of March, my exchange is getting rid of a lot of coins. They messaged me last week. Yep, you're going to notice that. As we go forward, they're dumping off the what we call the no utility tokens. Herbert Jean, thank you so much for the $2 donation. You're welcome, my friend, and thank you for paying it forward, Herbert. I greatly appreciate that. First donation of the night. Did I even talk about a donation? I don't think so. I don't think I did. But what I'm looking at for XRP, if Tom was going to buy a leverage trade, I wouldn't buy it right here. Oh, no. Randall, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation, paying it forward. Thank you so much at the beginning of this month, this third YouTube super chat. And Herbert, thank you for being Tom's Army. Did that to the 589 badge? I think it did. But right now with XRP, if I was looking at this from an entry point, first area I'd be looking at is 63.2. This is the formation that I believe has formed outside of this breakout attempt. And now we could even have a quick wick down here to 61.5. And Herbert, yes, the 589 badge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge. It warms my heart. I can't wait until we have the 3-year badge, which we're so close, but my station hasn't even been here for 3 years. The cool thing is I made partner in like 4 or 6 weeks. So about 4 weeks after that, they offered me to get the memberships and stuff like that. So some people joined right away. It took, a while and some good mojo. But we've come to where we've come. So what do we think of this, everybody? We've got, 148 people here. Good, because we need to see what's going on. I'm delegated, not staked for Flare and SGB. Interesting. And if you are watching it now, please make sure to hit that like button. Only 93 likes and 142 people watching. I think it deserves more than that ratio. That's only like a 60% like ratio. I believe for what I do and what I'm showing you right now in the moment, I believe that everybody should hit that like button so that if you respect me or if you appreciate the enormous amount of time and work I put into this vendetta, which I love doing with each and every one of you, hit that like button so I can continue to advance my community and allow us to continue to reach to new heights. So, thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that. I respect you too, my friend. Hamza, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I love seeing all those the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Takes a while to convince some, but I love seeing it. I love seeing it. That second month badge, though, is equally important to me. That Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Because generally, if somebody stays for 2 months, I'll start seeing them go through the Meteor and the XRP Predictor and the I Told You So badge. And then the 589 badge. It's so cool to see everybody do this. So what do we think, everybody? Does this seem reasonable? I think this seems reasonable. XRP, and because we have to delegate, ready? We have to delegate. Somebody said delegate. Now that word's in my head. This, I always like to say, is an exhaustion candle. You get this, and it looks like a hammer candle at that. That's a good sign. So then we came here and we formed the actual pattern. Doom. Came up to resistance. So now are we going to come back down here? So if we come back down, we already know. We've got a nice support, resistance. Now even if it wants to fill out and go up, we can do that. And that would put us at the precipice of about 63 cent area. So that's why I always say, like, I'm not going to get stressed out about this. Oh, he fell asleep right when I started doing my live again. I swear, everybody, my son, 25, 30 minutes into my live every time, or 20 minutes, what are we in right now? 20 minutes, he always falls asleep now. It's like he's listening and he says, you know, I'm going to go to sleep. But it's, I think this is a good way to look at it for where we're at right now in the pattern. And just so that we understand, even though we're going to have another move, a leverage trader could get into some trouble here, especially if it comes down 2.6%. On a 10x trade, that's 26%. So let's just say you have $1,000 trade open. From a perspective like that, that's $260 that you're down right now, and you're just betting on the fact that it's not going to go down farther. If it comes down here, you're down 54%. And then if it has an overzealous, we don't know what's going to happen. Look at all these overzealous candles every time before it breaks up. That's a bearish 2 candles in a row in the 2 hourly. Well, the second candle is trying to reverse it. But this candle right here is a gravestone doji. And we know what the grave means. So that's not exactly the most bullish of candles in that particular spot. So just remember that. So I'd be looking for a pullback down to that uptrending support. This does look like a bull flag, and the fact we got this little pull down here is interesting. Because that 634, could that satisfy it? Or are we going to trickle our way back down and maybe even hit it over here? It's interesting. We're going to have to watch right now because we just flipped the candle, the daily candle. And if you're asking me, I could see more of a reason for it to continue coming down here a little bit. Honestly. I could definitely see that. So that's what I'm seeing right now for XRP. Now, on the other hand, if we see us break over that downtrending resistance line in this little formation we set up, well, that is interesting then, because then we have to come up to the first. This is right here at 66 cents. We know the 66.6 cents, but I'm keeping it open for this now because we know the technical target here was 67.7 cents. So now I'm putting it on that. Well, Flare was up 500-600% from just a few short months ago. So, you know, every step has a cooling phase. But Tanya, you're in here. So while you're in here, not to drag it on too long, we've got right now H-bar starting to move a little bit since the flip. It's up 2.79%, up over 12 cents again. And we know it's been in this very defined, wrong chart, very defined, what looks like it was almost like a bull flag was setting up, but it's almost in a rising, well, not almost, it's in like a rising, it's a rising channel. And these can be bearish reversals if it doesn't break out. But because we're so bullish coming into this, I wouldn't bet on that. And we're on the handle that we just broke out of on a cup. We're coming to 14.3, and then ultimately we're coming up higher to like 18 cents here. But in the short term, we should be coming up to 14.3 at some point. If for whatever reason we had to consolidate and come down, it's 8.7 cents. But in the current environment, I think it'd be pretty hard pressed to just say, even if it breaks down, it's not going to come up and at least retest this area. So at any event, we should be coming up near 13 cents to see what's going on. So, and with the H-bar, we bought at 5.2 on Winning Wednesdays as a community. All I asked everybody to do was do $50 a week. It took us 11 weeks to do it, but we got 10,100 and some change shares, and it cost us about $550, and we had a 5.2 cent average on the high end. So everybody who did that, you know, I hope you're happy about that and able to see that you can, with everything we did over time, you can have the accumulation phase. If you know you're in an accumulation phase, you don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. But now you have to, you know, it's too late to do what we did before. Now we go 7 months into the future. Nobody can predict the future, but we figured we'd be here where we're at. We just thought XRP, if Bitcoin was at 68,000, not that I thought it would be over $1, but I definitely thought we would be at least pressing 75 cents today. You know, at the terms of where I'm seeing, I thought we could at least press that for very long consolidation after hitting all-time highs. Not today. It did not hit all-time highs yet, gold. Great question. Very close, Very close, but as you can see here, I have marked $2,146 is where gold hit all-time highs, and that was back on December 3rd, 2 weeks before my 40th birthday. What a day that was. And now, gold, it's trying to rally here. It's trying to rally, but gold, as we know, and everybody can see, that's going to have its own day in the sun. Gold had, if you think Bitcoin's had a long cup, gold, for it to put in this cup, and now the bullish handle, remember. We just put in the bullish handle, folks. Gold's been working on this since 2013. So like I said, if you think the cup on Bitcoin is big since 21, and you think that's going to explode, how much is it worth for a cup that started in 2013, built the bullish handle, and now is officially breaking out of that handle? What's that worth to everybody? 2,500 seems to be in the very near future for the gold. If I had to guess. If I had to guess. I mean, and can anybody else see what's going on here? Is that not the biggest bull flag that could have possibly, I mean, some of the stuff that's forming right now, that's a smaller time frame, so who cares? But it's been a very long time for gold. Very, 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 very long time for gold, and someone's going to pay off massively again. We're about to have that same push-up that we've had many times before, except the next time is going to make it very hard for retail to be buying in, especially silver as well, so undervalued. Such an exciting time right now. It truly, truly is. But anyhow, total crypto market cap's at 2.45 trillion. Total crypto market cap is also trying to come up to complete a big cup. That's where the speculation comes in. Where would the cup actually be? I think if it's trying to come up to the top, it's way up. You could say 2.7, no. Maybe 2.7 trillion. I'm getting rid of everything underneath now. I don't care. It just gets in the way. In the way. In the way. In the way. Now I think 2.7 trillion roughly is where it's going to try to take aim here. If it's trying to complete this higher up formation, because one could argue that it's starting to shoot through what could have been a short-term cup here, and it's just coming to fill the whole damn thing. It's coming to do the whole damn thing. So actually, it could be anywhere between 2.71 trillion and 2.83 if it's going to come all the way up there. So total crypto market cap also looks rather interesting right now. We talked about this explosion for so long. And it's just, when you start to watch it happen and you've been talking about it for so long, it's like everything really does go in cycles. I mean, you can't make that up. It's literally 3 years. 3 years to last time that we had these kind of runs up. 3 years ago, April in 21. And here we are again, heading into April of 24, and it's just another damn cycle. I gotta grab my, oh, here it is, beautiful. I thought I forgot this water, and it's right here. Voice is a little tired from being on, and I don't take days off, but that's no excuse. Gotta work harder. So H-bar. Well, we said H-bar, not H-bar. What am I talking about? DGB. As we know, it's working up to 1.8 cents right now. Looks like it's starting to put in a broadening wedge, which is fantastic news for any DGB holder. Looks like a very quick, very quick indeed broadening wedge here developing in the RSI for DGB. This is fantastic news. That means once it hits here, it's got to have a volatile swing up. Look at this. Look at that setting up. That is beautiful. Does everybody else see that? Can everybody else see that? That's a beautiful looking setup in the RSI, especially in the weekly. Wow. Wow, we're going to have some volatility to the upside coming here soon. Very soon. DGB still got to finish off the move to 1838. And then ultimately, if we can get on top of that, we've got a lot of space. I know it didn't seem like a lot when we were buying DGB at 0.007 on average for 77,777 tokens if you bought like I did. But remember, I sold out at 15 cents my last time after having a 5-cent average. So to be able to have 7.7 times more, imagine as we start running up the portfolio. You know, the more it gets, that means that 10 cents, you can do the math. That means at $1, you can do the math. I don't know necessarily if how long it would ever take to get to $1, but if it gets up to even 10 cents again, 10,000 tokens, 10,000 tokens. Well, I don't even want to do the math. Don't even want to do the math right now. My mind's not working because I'm looking at this formation. I can see it. I can see 1838 happening. It's almost like it tailor-made this. And then we're going to get into XDC, XLM, and go back to XRP. I'm very excited here, though, because this broke out and held. I'm being distracted because I'm looking at this longer term here. I know it's coming up here. It has to. After doing all that work, it's going to come up here. It's going to. That's what it looks like. So that's what I'm looking at for DGB. So continue to stay the course. Michael, thank you so much for that $5 donation. Holy smokes. Thank you so much for that, friend. I greatly appreciate that generosity that you've shown me this evening. Thank you so much. We've got XDC here, down 0.82%, but it's up to 4635 now. Wasn't too long ago before we talked about the breakout from 3.96 cents about to happen. And now we can see that we're starting to break out here. Our first tier breakout's 5 cents, 505. And then if we get on top of that, we can confirm this move. And the technical target out of this long-standing, what one could argue is a big bull flag here, a bullish consolidation. The actual move here, it suggests that we should come up to 8.3 cents. If that's the case, we have 40,000 XDC at 3 cents on average after I added 13,000 at 3.96 cents. Hey, Michael, I really appreciate that so much. So much. How much do I think XRP will be this Thursday? For me to try to act like I know that would mean I'm too big for my own bridges. I can't tell you that. Nobody can. And if you have payroll Thursday, XRP, you're either going to make do or you're going to lose half the payroll. So, you might want to keep XRP out of it for payroll. But honestly, I can't tell you where it's going to be on Thursday. I could tell you the projection would be around probably, well, you don't know. You really don't know because if it starts breaking down here, you really don't know because we could have a consolidation and we'll go back over it once we go to XLM. XLM right now is on a beautiful formation. It broke out of what was a perceived ascending formation into the wider pattern. We have a pivot point at 15.9 cents. And how ironic is it that it stopped right at 15? I mean, could you make that up any clearer? So it hit that. And now we're going to finish this pattern in time. But we said if it hit this, there was a chance that it could consolidate back down to 13.4, pick up the steam to come to 17.1 because it did at 16 cents, right on the nose. So I like the way this is shaping up for XLM. It's just don't be surprised if there's consolidations. Like right now, some people they've already lost their mind. They've already lost their mind. It came up here, and most people just can't understand that a 10% consolidation right there probably just saved the pattern. Although it does look like a bear flag form. So you know what? In this particular case, but we're not surprised. Where did we just say we thought it would come down to if it didn't get past here? And we'd have a consolidation back to here. That is not a surprise to us. Boom, boom, bam. Because most of the people will leave the position after that move. Not realizing that the actual pattern breakout, and we'll go over this a little bit further, calls for a back test of the formation break. Like, where do you ever see it not? Not me. Unless it would have went to this and then we do this. We talked about both scenarios. Unfortunately, it didn't take that scenario. Not as of yet. But now what is alarmingly looking like, just like with XRP, looking like it wants to consolidate down a little bit, so it's going to trap the longs again. Every move up, XRP and XLM, for the most part, have been in tandem with trapping the longs, especially the leverage traders. The swing traders with spot, it's a little harder, but they've all been set up to liquidate the longs. So this, if that's the case, I could see this fake breakout and then a move to here first, just for it to swing up. So if I'm guessing, I would anticipate that, but if it breaks up, you're coming here. Either way, I think it's going there. It's just, do they want to get rid of the long leverage traders first, and you would come there? So pay attention for that this evening. Same thing with XRP. If you want to get rid of the longs before you make the move up, every time we swung down, up, swung down, up, swung down. This would be where you could see a nice little swing down, but I'll show you exactly how, with just like with XLM, the exact area that we would want to target. As for anybody who's been here since the beginning of this live, we did talk about this at the beginning. So this is where I would assume we would be targeting. If this happened and it doesn't break this, I would assume it would come down here, right around the 63.4 cent mark, or what is that? 63.4, yeah, 63.4 is okay. Although it is right here, so 63 cents. 63 cents, we're going to call it. And that would be in the same kind of rotation as a drop by XLM if this happens. And it's ironic that they're both kind of pointing to this exact move. Now, I don't want to say it's a guarantee that we would come down first, but I also don't want to lie to you and be like, oh, we're just going up to 67 cents because I need more views. No, thank you. Yes, the third golden cross in the weekly time frame is 100% intact still, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't looked this good in months. It bounced off the 20-day now. XRP, this was the third instance. We had a weekly golden cross in its history. It was back in like, way back here. In July of last year, we proceeded to go up some 94%. But each time when we've had a golden cross in the first two instances, now being the third, this third time, the first two times after we made a push, that initial run, and now the third time, if we include it, we've went down at least 53%. So the next time, if we ever have another weekly golden cross, just remember, after the initial burst, no matter how big, it would have been at least the last three times would be a 53% drop. So just remember that for future information, as this third one went 53%, the smallest of the three drops, ironically. So now, after that, if it is the end, each of the first two times we had a weekly golden cross moved up several 100% very quickly after that drop. So, and if we go from the top here at about 95 cents, depending on exchange, it can be different. Where did we hit the low after that? 54% roughly. That looks about right. So that's what you're looking at. So that's the all-time rally right there. And what's nice about this is we're actually trying for the first time since 21 to actually break out of this formation. We haven't been this bullish since 21. And I say that because we haven't had a chance to break out of it besides a fake move up since then. So we need to come up here and finish this now. We need to finish the job here at some point, because if we wait too long, they're going to drop the hammer on us in Bitcoin. I'll come here and tell you if we've waited too long. Right now we haven't. But if Bitcoin finishes its noise and XRP kind of dicks around here, you know, there is this scenario where it might be a drop to 58 before the eventual bounce to 75 and then on. Which might not be a bad thing, but for Psyche, it might not be great if you're trying to pull in new buyers. Let's give our minds a little rest real quick as we'll come back into XRP. But I want to go over one thing that I'm pretty happy about. Whoops. Where's this at? Oh, right here. I wanted to read an optimistic one. An optimistic one. So, XRP attracts massive 2.5 million inflows in bullish crypto market. In the optimistic vibe that has dominated the cryptocurrency scene, XRP has emerged as a notable beneficiary, attracting a staggering 2.5 million amid a wave of massive inflows into the crypto market. The cryptocurrency market, and if you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this video. There's 31 of you out there in the abyss that could, right now, hit that like button. So if you appreciate what I do, please hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live and we continue to grow this fantastic audience as we're about to nail down 20,600 subs. I know it's crazy because just 2 days ago we hit 20,500, so we're moving pretty quickly over the last couple days. A staggering 2.5 million amid a wave of massive inflows into the crypto market. The cryptocurrency market has recently seen a rise in inflows. With investors flocking to various digital currencies seeking opportunities for profits and diversifications. And no, I don't smoke cigarettes, folks. According to the most current CoinShares report, digital asset investment products experienced the second highest weekly inflows on record, totaling 1.84 billion. Massive Bitcoin inflows continue with the further US 1.8 billion US ETFs. Trading volumes and investment products reached a new high of more than 30 billion for the week. We're getting that volume we're looking for right now. 94% of the inflows went into Bitcoin, totaling 1.72 billion. Now, what happens to the ones who invest in Bitcoin when they feel like they've topped out? Where does it go? They're not ready for the wave to die. They've just got that gambling mindset. They're looking at the altcoins that haven't moved. And which one, surprisingly, is always there ready for the taking. And it's like, oh, that one's undervalued. Just conveniently as Bitcoin's ready to dump out. Always XRP's ready for the last move. It's by design. It's by design. Despite Bitcoin receiving the majority of inflows, XRP has managed to stand out among other cryptocurrencies, some of which have seen outflows in the last week, indicating its appeals to a diverse range of investors. Solana, for instance, saw 12 million in outflows. Meanwhile, Binance, Litecoin, Cardano, and Chainlink had lesser inflows than XRP with 0.4 million, 1.2 million, 0.3 million, and 1.6 million respectively. However, to bend XRP over, they still outperformed XRP in the short term. So that's why I'm saying we're anticipating another 25% from where we've already hit, in my opinion. While XRP's price performance has often been subject to scrutiny, these recent inflows underscore a growing sentiment of optimism surrounding the digital asset. XRP edged higher after breaking above its daily moving averages on February 27th. XRP's advance since this date has been punctuated by minor setbacks, but the bulls have been able to gain the upper hand. In a major feat, bulls were able to break over the late December 2023 resistance high of 65.8 cents and achieve highs of 66.5 cents during today's trading session. However, the price has been unable to sustain above this level, with XRP falling slightly to the 65.4 cent mark. Despite being up 4.37% in the last 24 hours, XRP has risen 23% in the last 7 days. On the upside, if the 65.4 cents level is broken, XRP will meet the next resistance at 70 cents. If this is achieved, XRP may attempt to surge to 74 cents. The intermediate downside support is 58 cents, followed by 562. It's just a nice way to put against what we already know. And then the only other thing I really wanted to read so that we can get the market sentiment is this. Traders anticipate an XRP bull run, and then we'll end it with the last whatever time we have together looking at the charts again. Traders anticipate an XRP bull run following surge to 65 cents. Ripple price analysis. Ripple price has finally shown some positive signs, making investors optimistic that the new XRP bull run is on the horizon. The daily chart of the XRP USDT pair demonstrates a bullish shift in market structure, as the price has broken above the large descending channel in the 200-day moving average at least. As a result, the 70-cent level is a probable target, but for a longer-term destination of 90 cents. Yet, as the RSI has recently entered the overbought region, a short-term pullback to the 60-cent level in the 200-day moving average located nearby is possible before a further bullish continuation. On the Bitcoin pair, things look quite different. In the grand scheme of things, yet the price is showing some signs of recovery. The market has recently tested the 800 sat long-term support area and rebounded slightly higher. If the price finds a bottom around this zone, the first target for a potential uptrend would be this 1300 sat resistance zone, followed by the 200-day moving average located around the 1600 sat zone area. If these two levels get broken to the upside, investors can expect Ripple to outperform Bitcoin for a while. So we're looking at a lot of evidence that in the grand scheme of this bull run, or at least this move up, that there is a lot of things pointing at the fact that XRP will outproduce not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum as well, based on a lot of the key metrics. Right now, XRP is making a tug a little bit to the top side here. A little bit to the top here. So we're going to be very interested to see this shorter term formation here. Not just the 66.6 cents, as we already know about, but we're going to be very intrigued here to see if we can break this shorter term that we've put in together. and see if we can break this to the top side here. Instead of coming all the way back down to the uptrend, we've hit it 1, 2. It could make sense to hit it down here again at the third time, and it would give us a lot of flexibility here. I'm almost saying, if I was guessing, it's giving us some green to start, and it's probably going to break the back of the longs right now of the leverage traders, in my opinion. I can't join the live, says there's a playback issue. I would suggest, if you can see this, you restart YouTube. Restart YouTube. It's almost like we predicted where the market was going. I know, CZAM. I know some people told me that I was crazy. Have you guys seen all the comments for the last month as I've been calling it up from 48 cents and kept pointing? And nobody, all we have to do is go back, and if you look at my updates in the morning, I've shared the same thumbnail with the percent move from the breakout point from the January of 24 formation of 25% as the move was going. So you can see it in real time if you just look at the thumbnails. So now we're actually trying to push out into the next area. And if we break 66 cents, well, 67.7 cents, and then ultimately get above 75, for the first time since 2018, we're above that downtrending resistance. Since we put in that resistance line. It's pretty crazy to think that. And yes, it would hit that for the third time, and we finally gotten over. But we still got a lot of work to do here. It looks like a bull flag setting up, though, so I'm intrigued by that. Again. But we just got to let it play out here. We got to let it play out here, not be too overzealous, and not expect too much too quickly here, because it's really forming real nicely here. XRP market cap up 1.54%. Just since the flip. Like XRP starting to try to move up here just a little bit. Just a little bit. So, remember what happened yesterday. Just in case we want a feedback. XRP initially, right? And then back up. So, let's just pay attention. Like XRP, like what is going to actually happen? Is it just going to go? It's for the first time in a while, it's just going to take off. A couple days ago, it did. So. Oh, a lot of people are, some people are buffering. Oh, is mine buffering? Is it buffering when I look? I wouldn't think there would be 165 people in here still if it wasn't working. Let's see if I can hear myself. If it wasn't working. Oh, yeah, mine's working. So I put it on my phone too, just so I can see if it's working for everybody. So yeah, everybody just needs to restart it if it's not working. If you're just seeing the chat, obviously you can't hear me. But yeah, I don't know why that is.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working for Julie too. So, oh yeah, here comes a lot of people saying it works. UB2 Sab says, I made 170. Wow. We made it to 170 again. Thank you so much, UB2 Sab. And welcome in. That's our meme genius there. Been in Tom's Army for over 2 years as well with the 589 badge. Oh, did I mention he's a mod in here as well? Not that our mods have to do anything. But they are there just for appearance as well. You'd like if you put security at the front door, even if they're not security, you just put a security shirt on them. It deters the crime. Like, oh, there's security. Not that people often respect the security guard, but it's still a line of the deterrent. So, but yeah, I'm excited about what's to come here in the short term for XRP. There's not much more we can say about XRP until this forms out. Right now, we're in the process of trying to move out of this area. I've tried to make it as easy as possible. And then just what we've been watching play out for the last couple weeks. We were watching this formation play out, and we've been waiting for that move to the rising channel resistance, and that's from June of 2022, and we've come up here. Now all we can do is wait. I've said all I can say over the past several weeks and months. So somebody says take profits. I mean, that's only you can take that. Only you can take that. I personally believe that this move's not all the way done yet. David, these charts are awesome. Shows mob mentality, which can be so predictable. 100%. 100%. And then the other cool thing, as you said with the charts, David, think about all the people that are in the live and you can see public perception. You can see public perception. You know, it's a pretty cool thing to see, actually. Hey, what's this? Thank you so much for the donation. XRPMD. Thank you for the detailed analysis. I really look forward to your vids to help understand all this short-term volatility. How old is your baby? Oh, my son, he's 4 years old now. My son, Thomas Speaker the Third. He
So regal.
he's had a rough start. I know everybody always asks about the updates, but for the new ones, the reason why so many people ask about him is because he along with Julie, they got into a bad car accident. It wasn't their fault, but nonetheless, he broke his femur when he was 6 months old, and he's been struggling ever since. He goes to therapy now, and he's been for over a year. And then Julie's had 5 surgeries on her ankle. They took out her talus and put it in with a fake one. And so they've been on a long journey to recovery. So it's my goal to be able to provide so that Julie can stay home, continue her rehab, continue her recovery, you know, and be a mom again and do what she wanted to do. You know, be able to be there for the kids at school and be able to drive around. Because for her, for 3 years, she couldn't drive. Or 4 years, yeah, she couldn't even drive. You know, and like the driving thing, I don't drive now for the last, what has it been, 2 years, Julie? Because my left eye I can't see out of. I have keratoconus, so there was a time when I was in the car with Julie and our son, and she was getting worried because I'm like in the other lane and not even knowing it because I don't have any depth perception on the left side, and it had gotten so bad that I finally was like, you know what? Got to make the hard decision. And not that I won't drive if I have to, because I will. But it's one of those things. But our son is 4, and he's actually about to start. It's like a preschool, because he's a little bit developmentally delayed, as most of you know. But he's going to get his occupational therapy, his speech, his extra physical therapy for his foot. So it's going to be a good thing. But thank you for such a detailed. I appreciate that XRP. I do appreciate that $20 donation. Thank you so much for that. We do have a very loving and caring audience here, I would like to say. But, here you go, Julie. So thank you all for the questions and all that. I do appreciate it. I am not shy about sharing my my life.
Trials and tribulations.
Exactly, like Julie says, trials and tribulations. So, but I still think XRP here. I just have a gut feeling. I know it started out hot here. I just have a gut feeling that we're probably going to play down here. Hopefully I'm wrong and I can just get excited here in the next like hour or two. Because when XRP is going up, my community gets very happy. But would you be surprised if it got rejected here? And then came down to like 63, kind of to take out the short hands. Or even, you know what else I don't like here? I'm going to be honest here. I don't like the rising channel I'm seeing. Right? That's probably what we could get something like that. I would not be surprised. Come on, guys. I don't tell lies here. We see this, right? We can't lie to ourselves. So we peaked over the top and hit our technical target. But wouldn't it make sense? Would it make sense for that? Came down to here, came down to here, and then we can continue on. I don't know. I'm just saying if it wants to do that, maybe it will. Maybe not that far. Maybe it's just 63, but something don't seem right here. I feel like if it was going to go out, we should have already had that volatile spike to continue. Pepe is going off. Casino coin is running. Oh, they're all going to run. Meme coins right now apparently are just going to have a balls to the wall style attack. But the funny thing is most of the people who make the money on those are the ones that don't have to worry about getting in after the run's already started because they're already firmly in position. A lot of people get in trouble trying to catch it because remember, as they're running that fast, you're also getting the 20-30% corrections within it. And a lot of people will buy in and then right at the first 5-10% correction, they fuck themselves. Then they buy it because it's going up and then they just keep doing that all the way up. And even though it's up from their initial buy, from all the ins and outs and ins and outs and ins and holy smokes, that's the biggest donation I've got in a very long time. My dear Lord, my friend. Wow. Sometimes I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. You know, like, wow. Christopher Oliveria God bless, Tom. Always appreciate your effort. Just wanted to give my monthly appreciation. I would say that is more than your fair share, and I thank you so much for that $100 donation. Like, wow. I always tell people, may not seem like it, but there are ways that I am rewarded for the time I put in, and that is one person definitely putting in a big part right there. Wow. So, wow. Thank you, Christopher. Or Christophe. Wait a minute. Is it Chris? I don't know how to say it. Christophe or Christophe? NB, to answer your question. So anybody who's new, as we're 55 minutes in here, we've already done our due diligence. We can start talking too about stuff. DGB, I have at 77,000 tokens, 77,777. I'll give everybody an idea of the holdings right now, just so everybody can kind of, weigh it against maybe if you bought in when I did, maybe see exactly what I have compared to your own. I have $100 in Shiba. It's up over 500% right now. I don't even know the exact number because I would have to go back and look. It's the one with a bunch of zeros that I get confused in my own head. H-bar, we have 10,000 plus tokens we bought on Winning Wednesdays, $50 a week for 11 weeks as a community. And we bought it at 5.2 cents, just over 10,000 tokens. ZIL, we have 22,000, or I have 22,222 tokens at 1.5 cents. VChain, 22,222 tokens at 1.6 cents. XDC, 40,000 tokens at 3 cents. DGB, 77,777 tokens at 0.007. XLM, 10,000, just over 10,000 tokens at just about 8.5 cents. If I'm being honest, I have about 12,222 XRP, but 10,000 never moves. So I always say 10,000 tokens, but they're all bought at the same price at 34.6 cents. We also have, if you were buying with us, 10,000 algo that we did as well on Winning Wednesdays, FOMO Fridays. We got at just under 10 cents, not 10,000 tokens, 7,700 as it got over 10 cents, and that was our buy line. Through Julie, as you all know, I bought her because she loves Doge. 10,000 tokens, just over 10,180 tokens at 5.5 cents. Same time I bought XRP. Julie, hold on, I gotta tell Julie it's running again. Jesus Louise, she's gonna laugh us all the way to the fucking bank. Her 10,000 tokens now that I bought her for 550 bucks are worth $2,000 now almost. Jesus Christ. And I bought 10,000 XRP for $3,460, and it's worth, well, you guys can see already, it's underperforming like no other. Julie, take a look at your Doge. Unbelievable. I just told you that. Yes. We are a team. No, we. I love you. All right, sorry about that, everybody. But Julie, I told her to look at her account. She just went over, so that $550 investment just went over $2,000. She looked at it, it was at $2,008. Even from when I sent it to her portfolio at 9.1 cents, she's up over $1,000 from when I sent it to her. So she's like, wow. Like, yeah, Julie, that's the importance of holding. And she's somebody who won't sell it. So I was like, she loves it so much. So that was my excuse. You all know I said I was going to do it when it got down, and I did. And I sent it to her because now it's out of my control. She won't sell it. That's her only crypto. She loved it from day one. So I told her, I'll buy it back for her because she had it at $50 worth, that .0000, a bunch of zeros, and it made her over $1,000 on the Saturday Night Live debacle. I sold out, and because I buy the rumor, sell the news. That was the easiest one to ever see. Old Jeff Bezos is coming on stage with them. So anyhow, Just seeing it. But yeah, somebody said I'm super diversified. Indeed. But my biggest investment outside of my commodity holding, actually, it's about the same. I have about the same money weighted in B2 Gold as I have in XRP. So, and my B2 Gold's only up 10% from my average. So, but the reason I decided to wait into B2 Gold is because for the first time on record, I think this is going to pay dividends for them. They have a new mine, and it's the first time in their history that that mine produced more silver than gold. So now all of a sudden, for the first year, their earnings and their actual dollars made, they actually made more off of silver for the first time in their company's history. They had a bigger profit margin, and they were pulling in more silver than gold out of this mine. And I find it ironic that it's right at the time that silver's about to have a big explosion. Oh my God, it's going to be fantastic. So I am super diversified. I also like to own precious metals. Now, as I tell everybody, you got to find a place to store them because you're not just going to put them in your house. You got to put them somewhere else. So you got to put them. I don't necessarily like Brinks. I don't think I'd put it in the bank. Obviously, if you have land somewhere out with acres, you can bury it. That's the smart thing to do. So make sure you have an area that maybe you could put it in case of a worst case scenario. But it's always nice to have some investment outside of the US dollar so you can become your own central bank. I have enough to where I can maybe turn it in if I need $1,000 or two that I sit on hand. But I never keep anything too valuable on me at any times because fire, for one, what if a fire happens and I'm going to have to melt it all down and do something? So that's something you got to pay attention to. So, but anyhow, I am very well diversified. Most of it, though, is on a screen, though. Most of it I can't touch because it's in crypto or it's in my couple commodities I own. But, you know, I think crypto is going somewhere here in the future. I really do. I really, really do. Bitcoin at 68,000. Yeah, for some reason, Bitcoin seems like it's not for some reason, but it seems like it was, I don't know if it was trying to if it's trying to make everybody want it to go to 69,000 first without a correction, or if it really wants to have a correction and then go to 69. I almost in the back of my head was like, do you think Bitcoin could go down to 66 first? But I don't know, man. I don't know. It blew so far past that, but we did say if it couldn't get past 69,000 on that first burst, that there was a chance you could consolidate down. It's so hard to say, ladies and gentlemen, exactly how this is going to play out. We know it's coming up to the cup. I mean, when was the last time in anything besides like gold, like what I was showing? When's the last time you seen a cup? I mean, look at Bitcoin. Oh, that's the market cap. Sorry, it got put to the other one. But everybody, look at this. Let's be honest with ourselves. Look at that fucking cup now. When I was drawing this out a while ago, it didn't look this good because XRP was still in Bitcoin was still in the broadening wedge. Just as quick as I diagnosed that broadening wedge when everybody thought it was a bull flag, is how quickly we were able to make some serious bank off of this. I know a lot of people in my audience that started with $500-$600 and all of a sudden their portfolio is at $4,000 or $5,000 based on everything they hold. It's insane. Obviously, they waited a little bit more in something other than XRP, but nonetheless, what do we think about this with Bitcoin? I mean, seriously, unless Bitcoin, and the one thing I'll say that makes me super intrigued about this is the fact that Bitcoin, it did this and it looked like a nice consolidation, right? The 28. Back up to all-time highs. It's in discovery here, barely. But instead of going straight up and having to consolidate right when it starts, I give it credit because it came all the way back down here and pulled. This is that's a huge bullish formation. I don't care what anybody says. When you put in a long-standing cup, those are bullish continuations. Unless the handle pours out, which sometimes it happens and it pours out. But in this scenario, I don't know if that's going to happen. You've already cleared this space out once. And then twice, not just cleared it out, you cleared out below it too. So you've dashed the dreams of everybody going short in all those ranges, and you've picked them up along the way now, everybody who wanted to get into Bitcoin. You don't have that giant pool down here. It's happened multiple times. And these guys are just fortunate that it's back up, and they're not ready to sell now if they held through that. So there's a lot of stuff working here for us in crypto. The one thing that's working against us, but as I've said, it doesn't even matter. We're overbought right now so bad in the weekly that you might want to jump off a cliff. It's at 90, but each time we look at the daily, 93, but each time this happens, yes, it comes down sometimes, but look at every time now since we started to rally, if it even comes close to here, we came up and then it comes down, but ever since we started moving up, it hasn't even had a reversal yet. This entire move up, it's continuing to push down. So what I always tell everybody with the relative strength is look in the smaller time frames. And if you come into the smaller time frames, and when it comes towards 50, it doesn't spend much time over this and it just keeps coming back down, the bulls are in control. And look at every time it never can spend time up here because once it gets into the neutral area, the bulls come back on board. So again, eventually it's going to have to make that same tug because it is getting a little overextended here, let's be honest. But next time, is it going to be able to do the same thing? Well, when it gets into this range, see it came up here a little bit, boom. Came up here a bit, boom. Bam, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-bam. You know, and it keeps doing it, boom. So if it comes back up, boom. You know, and that would be how you keep breaking levels. But at some point, you're going to have a massive correction. Now, what my hopes are is that that's when XRP, it's going to start pouring in like now. It's not necessarily pouring into Bitcoin right now. It's down 214 points. And to further push our narrative, a lot of stuff, you know, it's starting to push now. Shiba's up another 18 fucking percent since the flip. You know, just like Julie, Doge, because they haven't enjoyed a lot of fun already, is up another 9% in the last 58 minutes. So good times indeed for all to be had, except we're so far behind. XRP so far behind. Sure, I can do Shiba while I'm still here. Why not? Why the hell not? I cover it anyhow in my own head. Man, I wish if there were some things I wish I would have put more on, it was Shiba. It was Shiba. Oh, it was Shiba. I used to have a dog named Shiba too. I should have bought more. It was my omen. But let's be honest now. I mean, it's not done. If it wants to finish this off, it's not. It's just blown past them all. We're coming back up to where that big drop point was. I mean, it seems pretty obvious. Seems pretty obvious now. We're going to have a showdown there. Let's see how much farther that is. Yeah, it's still got like another 25 fucking percent from even where it's at. So expect, I mean, 25%, 30% more. Yeah, we all wish we got a lot of things. UB2 Sob. You know, I used to look around the board. I don't even look at other assets anymore. I couldn't, you know why? Because I'm invested in what I thought was going to be utility for the future. Sure, some of these ones might have some quick rallies and sell off or whatever. But I buy into what I thought was what I wanted. And I got in early on a lot of it. And most of mine, the run hasn't even started. One small step from Indeed. Kyle, XRP is being sold by Ripple. I mean, obviously. They do have them, even without anybody even speculating, they have monthly escrow dumps. That's Ripple selling. They just call it out. They disguise it as a dump from escrow. Who's selling the escrow? Oh, Ripple. So, but it's a strategic strategy, but you got to read between the lines. What happened with XRP? They locked up 800 billion. They're 800 million out of the 1 billion escrow drop. They locked up 80%. They know something's coming. They're trying not to seclude it too much. They're trying not to suppress the price too much in this rotation for some reason. So something's coming. It's just what's the day? You know, what's the exact day that we do have that breakout? But I don't disagree with you, Kyle. That's exactly what's happening. 100% it is. It has to. We know, and it's already been shown by the GSR trading bots. They had, you know, in 2016, 2017, XRP was stacking the deck in its own favor. It was stacking the deck in its own favor, so that the price could only go up. They were manipulating it to the upside. So that's a little bit staggering as well, knowing that the last time we actually had a price run like that was during that time when we had these incredible gains. But You know, a lot of this is just white noise in the background. But ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. My voice is just, I've been talking a lot. I do 2 updates a day a lot of times, or 2 lives a day, over an hour apiece. But I don't take days off, so I got to call it quits here. As much as I want to keep talking, and I could, my voice is going to regret it tomorrow, and I want to be here all day, every day. So if you're looking to trade XRP and you're trying to get into it and you don't know how, or you're just looking for a more reliable exchange, BITUNIX, I'm starting to transfer some stuff over there to have more capital. I love Uphold, but it's always down at high times of volatility. So is the likes of Coinbase and Kraken and Binance and all your normal suspects. But you know, I'm being more diversified now in that regard. Lowest spot fees for leverage and futures trading, along with spot in the USA. And you don't need to use a VPN in the USA. So take advantage of that if you're trying to find XRP. There's a link in the pinned comments or in the description below if you're here after the live. If you are looking to show me some support, I just ask one time per month. Send a YouTube super chat or consider joining Tom's Army if I've helped you out in any way, but in a financial way, that is. You know, it's got to be worth your time as well as mine. And it really does help fund the program. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out so that YouTube will recommend this video. George just helped me out. What did you say, George? I didn't see what somebody's got a comment again. UB2 Sob, there's a possibility that we do have one more big drop, but the question is where and when. We'll continue to dissect this as the days go on. Can one of my fellow Army members help me out? I don't know. What are we helping you out on, George? And thank you for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. But I got to make it quick. My voice is... If I keep talking, you're not going to have any more long shows tomorrow. It's going to be the short ones. I know my limitations. I used to ignore it. $0.65 level is going down. Yeah, for the short term. For the short term. I still put a lot of stock into the chart that we talked about when we first started today. I still put a lot of stock into this. Because this is the formation we are in since February, so. Oh, you went to buy ZIL. Yeah, ZIL is ZIL. It's the one that's 3 cents right now, 3.1 cents depending on exchange. But yeah, that's the one. That's the one. It's called Zaliqua. George, it's called Zaliqua. If you look at ZIL, it'll say Zaliqua on it. ZIL, yep. So just make sure of that. So thank you, everybody. I greatly appreciate you all. Have a blessed evening. And let's see what we do from here. Pretty exciting times here indeed. XLM's up 2% now since the flip. This is fantastic. Have a blessed night, everybody. I'm glad I could be here with each and every one of you.